Hi there, and welcome to episode 197 of the ADHD Adults podcast. I'm James Brown, the man who relives his mistakes like a knockoff VHS copy of Groundhog Day, and I'm joined, as usual, by Dr. Alex Connell, the deep-sea diver of mental spirals. He goes down too far, he can't find the surface, and often just finds darkness. We are again, sadly, without Mrs. ADHD, who's lazy. Let's just put it that way.
Laziness.
Well, yeah, her energy levels have dipped, so I think she's wisely decided to have some rest this morning. She won't be resting, she'll be doing something. But anyway, she thought this was an episode about cows and sheep. So Alex, hi.
I was thinking about other stuff. I'm too busy to chew the cud with you today. So get on with the podcast on, rumination.
I always get lost in this bit now, obviously, because she's not here. So I suppose, do I ask you how you are? Is that it? Is that next?
Yeah, generally you do.
We've only done 196 of these, you know.
I'm excellent. Thanks for not asking. Cheers. Yeah. As you said, in the cold, it's November. So companies have decided today to stop caring about ADHD and to pretend to care about, I don't know, moustaches and prostate cancer instead, whatever November is. I think one of whom, James, has sent us a letter.
Moustache.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, why not?
Actually,
at this point, why fucking not?
Actually, RFK had a moustache for most of his life. Very good, like handlebar kind of 70s moustache for a good period of his life. He rocked it. Dad did his moustache.
I did not know that we'd come up with RFK for him.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
I know, obviously, one without any political affiliation whatsoever, because he's dead.
And he was also assassinated, but by age instead of a gun.
Very, very true. And the NHS.
Holy shit!
Sorry, but it's true.
Which we support.
Yes,
a specific set of people within it, probably.
Yes.
It's cut all that in post. Just cut that, cut that. Yeah, it's from a Robert from Kidderminster, James. It says, I listened to your last episode on histamine. It was niche. It says, did you know that James might hate garlic because he's a Dracula, but he's allergic to all herbs? In fact, he comes out in chives, like hives. No, it's quite serious. He could die, it says.
Oh, God, the pun machine was working hard this morning, wasn't it? I like it. I actually do like it.
And this morning, it's absolutely bang on. Oh, are you allergic to anything? I know I should have but I forgot.
Less than I used to be. I used to be allergic to 14 out of the 15 things on the prick test, the heat test, whatever it's called. But now it just really work. And
I read a paper this week, but I've forgotten how good it was. But it said that peanut allergies are down because we're exposing babies to peanuts more early now. But I've got to check if it's real or not. So don't take that. But I found it really interesting. So I'm looking forward to looking it up. Anywho, we've had a real letter. Can I read it out? Yes.
No.
That was you. It's from Saz, and I'm going to assume we've asked. It says, hello all. Or she spelled Al wrong. It might just be to me. I listened to the episode on shame today, and fucking hell. I hope they do. That was gut-wrenching. Alex, your description of the shame you felt like you were doing some sort of antagonistic dance on my brain. What a beautiful phrase, Saz. I feel so much shame, like all the fucking time. I feel shame for feeling shame. I feel shame for feeling so ashamed of everything I do, have done, and will do. For example, I bought tickets to one of James's, in brackets, is there another S after the apostrophe of James? No, says. Who knows? Alex will. Oh, I did. Little talks, which I was really looking forward to, but I cancelled because I'm so worried I might bump into the friend I let down and have since ignored. I don't know if they're going, but the thought that they might be there is terrifying because if I saw them, I would have to acknowledge I fucked up, and just thinking about it as I write is horrible and the shame is unbearable. I'd rather never go out again. I hate being like this, and it brings so much shame in the inherent belief I'm a flawed human being. Fuck ADHD. Please put that on a t-shirt. I am having coaching through Access to Work, and it has been incredible. I've had so many different therapists through my life, but nothing has really worked because I'm also autistic, and as we all know, Therapies do fuck all unless they've been adapted for autism. Coaching through, fuck me, ding, coaching though, fuck me, ding, is life-changing. That's a sentence that is very code switch to our group. I am going to bring up shame as something to work on with my coach. We've never met in person and probably never will, but I trust her. And she's good, like really good. I really want to know who it is so we can big up good ADHD coaches out there, obviously with her permission. Love you all, especially you, Sam. Saz. Well, you've ruined it at the end, Saz. Well, Jesus Christ. No,
I'd like to point out it definitely isn't me that coaches Saz.
No, because you don't identify as a she.
Anyway, as usual, this piece of cling film that won't tear off properly and just stretch it into a twisted plastic oblivion of the podcast is still kind of a tragedy in 3 parts. This bit, Al, now, this bit is or was, depending on when you're listening. No, if you're listening, it has to be part 1. Yeah, and in part 2, the soul-searching substitute teacher of science, Alex, the psychoeducation monkey, will tell us about the evidence behind the subject. No, because it'll be introduced now in the next few lines. And then we'll give our personal reflections. What?
Flawless.
Thank you. Anyway, what's the topic this week, Sam? Oh, she's not here. Okay, I can't do the voice. I'm 5 days into not. Okay. This week, we're going to be discussing rumination, one of the different types of thoughts that make ADHD so much fun. And that's the end of part 1, which, like Googling does crying in the shower count as cardio, you'll regret later. Join us in part 2, where Alex will confidently mispronounce something and James will remind us that he puts the tragedy in comedy. Oh, God.
Alex, hi.
Aight. What's up? Hello, Governor.
Welcome back to part 2 of episode 197 of the ADHD Adults podcast, where we're going to talk about ADHD and rumination. That's not what's written in there, is it? Because I just decided to go off script. It's a bad script, so sometimes it's a good idea to go off it, but I don't know why I did that. Anyway, Alex, go.
I love Alex, go. Righto, what is rumination? You know I'm going to pretend to ruminate in a really basic meta joke way. What is ruminate? It just means thinking a lot about stuff. Wind your neck in, that's all it means. No, I mean it does, it sort of does. But also, medically, what we're discussing here is over rumination or challenges or problems with over rumination. More like your brain sticking on the repeat button for a particularly awful song you never liked in the first place. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? It's when you get caught in literally the worst. No, not that. It's when you get caught in a loop of often negative thoughts that don't lead anywhere useful at all. No solutions, no fresh insights. It's the mental equivalent of pacing in circles without the cardio in the shower. If you struggle with me saying rumination or saying rumination, not least because we keep pronouncing it poorly, I tend to use the word dwelling in my own head because I change all words. I think of this as dwelling, which is always bad, right? And dwelling or negative rumination is always harmful and very rarely helpful. It's different from healthy reflection, that kind of rumination. That's important for humans. We learn from our mistakes that way. We plan better for next time that way. It's brilliant. Reflection is really helpful. It's like looking back at a holiday photo to remember what you enjoyed. Nothing in James's case. Rumination, negative rumination, is staring at a photo your mate posted to Facebook where you've got red eye, a double chin, and quite a clear piss stain on your trousers. That ain't piss. It ain't piss. They come that way. People often start ruminating with good intentions. Somewhere along the way, it takes a real hard left into self-criticism, catastrophizing, and self-worth problems. Mood tends to drop the longer you do this for, and you end up no closer to a solution when you started.
How can one tell when one is doing it then, Alex?
You going for grammar?
I know.
I'm glad you asked, James. I'm glad you asked for once properly. Signs you're dwelling ruminating include thinking about the same problem over and over again, and way longer than just a quick daydream, a quick reflection. B, I forgot to say klaxon, feeling worse than you did when the first thought popped up. Or delta C, 3, making no, 0, nil actual progress towards fixing it or even accepting the fucker. It's about dwelling and ruminating, not getting any shit done. Rumination, dwelling, can be triggered by all sorts of things. It can be big stressors, losing a job or breaking up with someone, past traumas, low self-esteem, perfectionism, fear of failure, just certain personality traits like, and this pisses me off because mine is ridiculously high, like being high in neuroticism. Actually, that sounds like a neurodivergent sex club James once accidentally wandered into, knew the password, knew the bouncers, and stayed for 3 days. There are different types of rumination, if you're interested, and I think you are.
I mean, I'm not, but for the listeners who think I'm a shithouse, oh, yes, please, I'll tell us.
They do think you're a shithouse. The irony, I'm the shithouse. And the things I text you, I would be A, fired for, and B, imprisoned for, and C, no one would believe it was me.
I've got screen captures.
Yeah, so am I. Thank you very much. Rumination tends to come in 2 unhelpful flavours, like crisps, except these will make your mood worse instead of your blood pressure. So, like little crisps. I like little crisps. The first one is actually called, and this is why I call this what the whole thing dwelling. The first one is negative rumination, and that's the past focused type of dwelling. Your brain digs out the greatest hits of things I wish I'd done or said differently and plays them back to you on a loop. Maybe it's a huge mistake you made years ago, or maybe it's a fucking tiny one, or maybe it's just a highlight reel of cringe moments accompanied by a soundtrack of I'm such an idiot and no wonder nobody likes me. B, anxious rumination. This, on the other hand, points you firmly towards the nightmarish future. This is the constant mental what if generator of shit. What if I fail? What if it all goes wrong? What if they hate me? What if everyone secretly hates me and I've got cum in my hair again? But this time, it's not mine. It's an exhausting attempt to predict and prevent disaster driven by a deep need to feel it. James has gone. I love it with that. Driven by a deep need to feel in control. And which, spoiler alert, you never actually get that sense of control from the anxious rumination. We can include this rumination in the old intrusive thoughts class of thinking types, in that they are usually unwanted, out of character, and involuntary.
And what about some ADHD fucking D?
You fucking told you never do that to me again. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think I would be recording an episode if the evidence said people with ADHD don't ruminate more than the average person in the street, depending on what street you're in? Do you think I would fucking do that?
We should do.
People with ADHD are more prone to rumination. I've been watching Alan Partridge when he gets angry, and it really makes me laugh so much. People with ADHD are more prone to rumination. Of course they are. A big reason why, probably, is the default mode network of the brain. Overactiveness of it, probably. The problem is these things are always mixed, aren't they? We can have overactive regions of the brain, but they're overactive in inhibition, and it's never that clear. But it looks like the default mode network is probably overactive a bit. That's the brain's idle setting or reflection. Super, super important thing to reflect. But in ADHD, ironically, this demon, DMN, is anything but idle. It loves wandering around your brain box into old embarrassments, future disasters, and intrusive thoughts we never asked for. In neurotypical brains, which don't exist because nobody is neurotypical, so whatever they are, but in the average person, the typical person, this DMN tends to turn off when we do summit. And that's a different network of the brain, the task positive network, TPN. That brain bit helps you focus, it kicks in, and the DMN, the reflective bit, turns off. In ADHD, the DMN doesn't turn off as well, probably. It's definitely, isn't it, James, these days?
Yeah,
I still
pretty
like to-
much. Pretty much, yeah.
So it stays a bit active when you're supposed to be task facing, task positive, when you're supposed to be doing something, it's supposed to be focused. And because it's wired heavily into your memory, into your emotions, the DMN that is, it's going to pull you back into past events, emotional loops, future fears, the perfect breeding ground for rumination. I just said breeding ground. I like
Breeding
that very
ground.
much.
So is this breeding ground all because of the DMN, or is this just shit editing?
It's not mutually exclusive, that is it?
Mm.
Yeah, no, it's notorious for Psychom, isn't it? To the balance of dumbing down to unhelpful. And what was that thing? Is it Einstein or Twain or something said? As simple as possible, but not simpler. That's always the key. So while the DMN is a huge player in this, ADHD rumination also comes from hiccups in other important brain areas, and largely the shitty dopaminergic connection between them. There is research showing weaker connections both within the DMN and between the DMN and other networks as well. Limbic system, that's the emotional brain center. I call that, the sort of the ancient lizard brain, but it's bullshit. It's not. There's the ventral anterior cingulate cortex, which what I'd got to say, and I can't say this is, which is a spell to make Harry Potter hate trans people. We'll cut that in post. And that's involved with integrating emotional information. Ventral means backy bit, anterior means, toppy bit, anterior means back fronty bit. Cingulate means shaped like a belt, and cortex means on the outside bark of a tree. So most of that's just geography. If you're thinking that they're clever, they're not clever. They just have learnt a new way of saying a toppy, outsidey, backy, fronty bit. Looks like a belt. There's also the precuneus involved in episodic memory retrieval. And remember, we have got decent long-term memories, people with ADHD, good and bad, same as everybody else. So the long-term memories, the relatively short-term memories are all right. It's the working memory that's fucked. So we have those precuneus, but it isn't ever just a single network fault with ADHD. We have a full system problem, which we need on a t-shirt.
We do, as well as fuck ADHD. So why is it important, though? What does excessive rumination of either shit flavour do?
Lots of stuff. What's it to you? Bad stuff as well.
I mean, I'm not interested. I'm literally reading stuff in red on a Google Docs.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
I don't care.
Oh, fuck yourself, San Diego. Yeah, no, it's it, isn't it? Excessive rumination, negative rumination, dwelling. It's bad. It's bad stuff. Rumination doesn't just make you feel rubbish. It has proper knock-on effects on your mental health, thinking skills, daily life, physical well-being. I can't get over a t-shirt with ADHD. It's a full system problem on it. I'm dwelling on that now, but that's a good thing. I'm ruminating healthily. Emotional dysregulation can be ramped up, exacerbated, even caused by negative rumination dwelling. Similarly, anxiety and depression, vicious circle. Rumination is a mood amplifier, but pretty much only for bad moods. Research that we've seen shows rumination helps explain why ADHD is more likely to be linked to anxiety and depression. Part of that, anyway, not all of it. So it can mess with decision making because it's going to influence that. Executive functions, which we struggle with anyway. Not all of us, you don't have to. When you add constant rumination, do you think there's anyone that's got fine executive function with ADHD?
No.
Or not all of them, but everyone's got one.
I think it's fundamentally an executive function disorder. The three core executive functions: inhibition, working memory, cognitive flexibility. Pretty much all of us have got a dab of at least one.
Otherwise, you haven't got that's what it is, right? Like saying, are there any autistic people without social communication problems? No, because it's a disorder of social communication. Yeah, it is. When you add constant rumination and you get mental fatigue, you overload, analysis paralysis, second guessing yourself, feeling stuck. Feeling stuck's huge for loads of people I coach, and avoiding decision making altogether. Another executive function we can have. It lowers your quality of life. It's already low on average in people with ADHD. Mine isn't. Mine's awesome. Persistent negative self-talk and replaying failures tank self-esteem. And this can push people towards social withdrawal. I do not need pushing towards that. It's my natural fucking state. And for those of us who mask symptoms push people towards social withdrawal, if I socially withdrew anymore, I'd be on Mars. And for those of us who mask symptoms in public, the hidden cost is high. Holding it together all day, burns through our mental resources. And then there's a rebound at home where the actual important people to us are, with a negative effect on them. Also, intense rumination, agitation, impulsive behaviors go up. The pressure to appear within the neurotypical range is going to make private rumination worse.
Yeah, is there anything we can do about it? You know, is that we're just fucked?
Please be quiet, James. Why are you?
That was just close enough to a shush to annoy me.
Sorry about him. Anyway, I know what you're thinking. Is there anything we can do about it? Well, yes, there is some stuff. We can tackling rumination. I know it's cheesy and like hackneyed, but it makes me laugh so much. Tackling rumination usually works best with, and this is the most boring, annoying list because you already know this: a mixture of therapy, lifestyle changes, and sometimes medication. Back off, but medication, which is easy. So therapies such as CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, if done well and ADHD informed, and acceptance therapy, commitment therapy. Sorry, no, they're one thing. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, isn't it? Which I'm learning loads about recently, as well as dialectical behavior therapy. Both of those probably offshoots of CBT, if we're honest, and both of them got some really exciting new data. It appears that they can help. If they can help for ADHD, is at the moment anecdotal, but fits with what we're hearing. It's mostly about disrupting the cycle. Looking at what you can control. Can you change your location? Can you change your thought patterns? How? God knows. Can you change your goals or make them clearer? Are these things controllable by you? Goals that are not winnable are the devil's shit. They really, really are. I want to be a better parent. I want to be tidier. This is what I hear all the time from people in a real state. I want to be more of something. This does not help. If you can't say to me specifically what you could practically change that would allow you to come over to me and say tomorrow in 24 hours' time, I was a good parent, I was tidier. That's what I meant. If you can't, then it isn't a goal, it's rumination. It has to be specific and realistic. You can't say 25 hours worth of work. It isn't a real self-criticism. It is unwinnable rumination. And James works really well with this key DBT technique, actually, which you've been doing before DBT, but it's good. It's some people call it STOP because it's James, is this an acronym or an abbreviation? Let's play the game of grammar.
Acronym because it's
very good. Yes,
it is an acronym. Say yes.
It's very impressive. Sorry, we'll cut that patronising bit in post. STOP technique. Stop. And the S is for stop, which is lazy. T is for take a breath. O is for observe. And P is for proceed mindfully. So actually, it should be staboapum. Staboapum. Stop, take a breath.
It's catchier.
And proceed mindfully. Don't forget, everybody, staboapum. And the stop technique can help you choose a more thoughtful response instead of diving straight into autopilot of negativity. The wankiness of mindfulness can also help, and there's actual fucking evidence for this. And it annoys me not just because I do it, but because like the barriers, ableist barriers to people with ADHD choosing mindfulness is so annoying. There is ADHD informed mindfulness though that can be 30 seconds, and mindfulness dampens down the DMN. Boo to that.
Right, we're done. I'd say that's a solid 6 out of 10, maybe. We'll be back in a bit, which won't be a bit, maybe 5 seconds, something like that, and we'll see you then.
No.
Womble's cock. Womble's cocks.
Welcome back to episode 197 of the ADHD Adults podcast. This is part 3, as always. Ronnie Barker and I are talking about ADHD and rumination as always. What? Talking about Summit, usually are. This bit, as always, probably, I haven't checked, I don't understand the rules, is personal reflections. James, go!
Did you just admit that I'm Ronnie Barker and you're Ronnie Corbett by default?
Only because you did that thing with your glasses.
You said you've just said it. It's now on the record. You said Ronnie Barker, so I'm taking.
I didn't
that.
say
You can't
I
take
was
it
Ronnie.
back.
I meant
Can't
Ronnie,
take it back
I meant
by
Ronnie
default.
Barker's son.
But anyway, on to personal reflections. Mine, Alex, you'll be unsurprised to know, are all, if you look at those two types of what you talked about, negative and anxious. So my rumination is all about the past.
Really?
The future to me, even from tomorrow onwards, doesn't exist. I can't. I said. I think was time blindness like episode 5. I said at the time I can't even look at my diary until the day of doing something, and next week's a foreign land. So I don't really think about the future at all. But the past, haunts me all the time, and most of it is just the weirdest, stupidest, silliest, shittiest little things. I think frequently, Al, about a time when I was about 7 years old, and my mum dropped me off at a friend's house. He wasn't really a friend, but his friend's mum used to kind of babysit kids after school, and I hated going there, but I had fun. And when she came to pick me up, I didn't want to leave. I think about that all the time. I feel like I let my mum down because I wanted to stay there.
The kids do that all the time to me, like every day. Oh,
and yeah, rightfully so, because they're intelligent now.
So it's just not a sign of abuse, whatever you say.
That happened like 340 odd years ago,
and
I still.
I imagine you with those breeches on.
Yeah, and I still think about it. And I've in the past I've said I don't regret much in my life, but that's one of the things I regret.
And do you know intellectually that it's not real, or do you feel it's real as well as think it's real?
I feel it. I get the physical feelings one gets when one thinks about something that we're either embarrassed or we have shame about. I get the kind of physical curling in on myself and feeling, oh God, I can't believe I did that. Yeah. Things like, for example, I remember I was a barman for like 20 years when I was doing my degree and PhD and afterwards, and calling a customer sir when it was in fact a woman. Think about that so often. About calling a teacher mum. I called a teacher mum, which
I did it loads of time.
But do you still think about it? No, I do.
I thought it was funny.
I still all of these things, and they're not all kind of early life things, because obviously I wasn't a child when I was a barman, but they're usually things from kind of teenage years through to probably the last 10 years or so. It tends to be stuff that I felt awkward about, or stuff that regret's the wrong word, or stuff where I feel like I could have made a different decision. Yeah, it is shame. It is related to shame, and it's the stuff that I, for whatever reason, have assigned some element of blame to myself. I did that thing, but I am that thing. That really digs in and becomes this thing that I can think about it for, I would say hours, but that's a lie. I can think about it for many minutes. Like sit there for a good 30, 40 minutes thinking about when I was 7 or 8, and I said to Mum, no, I want to stay here.
And it's a dopaminergic response, isn't it? You're trying to get a resolution that won't come, anticipated reward, and it can't come because there is no resolution. And so
I genuinely don't know. And I know it's odd, because there are things in my past that are far more impactful that I've talked through therapy, and they're no longer an issue. But there are these weird things I still, when you walk in through a corridor kind of at work. So when I used to work at Aston, I remember walking up and down this really tall building, and there are like staircases in the corners of this square building. I remember walking up a staircase thinking someone was talking to me, and this happens often. When I think someone's talking to me and I'm not really paying attention, what I tend to do is say something like, oh, because I can't actually think of something in time, I'm not confident they're talking to me, so my brain gets stuck and I just vomit out noises while this person is passing me like on the stairs. So I thought this, I can remember this specifically. It was a student. I thought they were talking to me, and I just went, oh, and then was walking up the stairs saying, Jesus Christ, why did you say that, you fucking idiot? Oh my God, they think you're weird. Saying that out loud so they can hear me say that as well as go, oh. And I still think about that like a lot. And the other thing, and this is, the other thing, and this is, I think, more, I suppose, serious, and that is, as an addict, I don't often say that word, but I am.
Yeah,
As somebody with, I've now realised a whole series of substance use issues. It is in me.
It's a failing.
We were saying off air when we are how when I watched the Charlie Sheen documentary, my take-home message was literally, crack looks amazing.
I love the nice crack.
Yeah, not like, oh my God, look at the kind of the downfall, the spiral of this man who was using drugs. It was just, yeah, crack looks great. And yeah, and
got it. Try crack. I don't need to watch the rest.
The one thing I've been ruminating a lot about over the last couple of years is the fact that I'm not in that lifestyle anymore. Like a lot, thinking about how, you know, the happiest years of my life taking all those drugs, and all the fun times I had taking all those drugs, and God, it was brilliant taking all those drugs, and now I don't, and maybe that's why I'm unhappy. You know, maybe I need, honestly, that's the thought process. It's
got
not
the causation.
Although, to be fair, my psychiatrist did say to me when I saw them and chatted about my anhedonia without offering solutions, did say, I think it's possible that this is caused by your substance use when you were younger. So don't offer solutions, but just add some shame on top and tell me that, yeah, I've caused these problems myself. Thank you, psychiatrist.
Yeah, do you think they thought, why am I saying this?
I don't. I think they just desperately wanted to say something because they didn't have a clue what to do.
Yeah.
So I currently ruminate a lot about something that's incredibly unhealthy. My relationship with drugs and how my life has changed. Now I'm no longer, you know, more than an amateur substance user.
Yeah.
So in terms of tips, I mean, I suppose it's the usual stuff, isn't it? It's to try and write things down, try and process them, and the stop approach, I think, is great for most things in ADHD if you can do it. It's actually the first part, the stop, that's difficult. And whether it's spiraling, whether it's rumination, you know, whether it's catastrophizing, whether it's impulsivity, putting that pause in, that stop is difficult. But trying to notice that you are ruminating, I think, is one of the key things. If you notice that you are ruminating about something, then you can try and either write things down, you know, like, as you say, take action if you can, change your environment, or even distract yourself with something absorbing.
I say it out loud, you know, stop, like out loud. It's weird.
I bet it is, yeah.
Yeah, freaky.
Anyway, Al, what about your reflections?
I've got one. I just need to ask you a couple of questions.
Oh my God, I've just realised, reflections, Draculas don't have them.
Yeah, I'm sure we've probably done that. And I want to know about the social anxiety you feel, because what's really freaking, we only realised this, didn't we, right in the script, is that James feels negative rumination and not really anxious rumination about the future. And I don't feel negative rumination about the past, psychopath, but anxious rumination about the future if I allow it, but I don't allow that in anymore, or rather I emotionally accept it. And I'm so sorry about this LA wankathon, but I acknowledge it and thank it for its advocacy in my brain, and then I move past it. It took me years. I know, it's really awful. I feel sick saying it out loud. When I am in an awkward situation where someone gets my name wrong or I get their name wrong, I love it. It's one of my favorite moments. And I think, oh, the thing's happening. Oh, this is. Sometimes I'll say out loud, oh, this is awkward. And my wife told me that once she said hi to someone who wasn't their cousin, and she said that I looked, my eyes went up and I clapped. Like in front of them, I was next to them. And she said it was the most psychopathic thing.
Amazing.
Oh, it's happening. And so, yeah, I don't know what it means. We're going to talk about it afterwards. I don't know what it means that James has negative ruminations and I have anxious ones. I'm neurotic. That's what I am. I overthink everything all the time. So the anxious ruminations are being neurotic about controlling fucking everything. And that control is an absolute illusion. I can lose sight of what is real. For me, to avoid the future-focused anxious rumination, I have people to trust. I ask people. One of them is I can't say it.
Go on.
One of them is it's perfect. One of them is someone I know.
Yeah.
Someone I know without reflection. And I trust them to tell me when I'm not being me, when it's not the real me, when it's not real. And I have to go, I trust them. I'm either calling them stupid and wrong, or I'm wrong and I'm often wrong. So I have to, that was very, very difficult. Or that really started with sobriety. I had to trust that people I loved were either idiots or correct, which meant my cognitive understanding of my drinking was wrong. And that felt really humiliating, but it was good. The shame of anxious ruminating about the future and really doing everything you can to deal with it. And then a month later, not giving the tiniest of shits about it, the process or the outcome is so real for me that having people I can talk to and trust and just checking, like if it's now, it's no stuff, really, really helps me. Well, it's hard. I don't do the past stuff, which seems to cripple people, but I do the future stuff. This is the kicker. This isn't advice. This is what I do. I'm going to say it anyway. I am very, very clear on what I want to achieve. And that's with any interaction with people, any action. I know what I want to achieve. And I'm very, very clear on why. And what I mean by that is, so I started out by thinking, what do I want to achieve? Don't know. Metacognition. Then I thought, okay, how do I want to feel? Don't know. Don't care. Hate myself. Okay. So now I work on, what do I want to achieve? And I asked myself the question, how do I want other people to feel? And that changed everything. Yeah. Sick. No, not true. If I can boost other people and make them feel better, which I find much more difficult than bringing people down, which is easy, I'm the devil. But if I can do that and understand them a bit, make them feel heard, then I win every time. So I try and do that. And if I'm ruminating, I ask if it fits that process of making people feel heard, making people be in control. And what can I practically do to achieve that? And then I do that thing. And that works almost all the time. That's
interesting.
I know.
Did you notice how I masked Ben and said interesting, though I'm not interested in anything that you said? That was a form of mask.
That's the self-protective mask. When you like what I say and you don't know what to do with that feeling, that's when you mask. James, have we got time for the game today? Because we've got a good one.
No, sadly we haven't, Alex.
Well, I'm going to do the game anyway. And so I have a £1,200 fine to HMRC for not paying my taxes. So what was my problem this week, James? What did I do about this formal letter that says I have to pay? Did I pay the wrong account the money? Did I pay the wrong amount into the account? Or did I not phone the HMRC's phone number to sort out the fine, despite knowing I should, and knowing that it was my number one priority of the week? Just didn't do it.
See, using my system, of trying to insult you to pick the answers to this, did you pay the wrong account? Well, because you're a billionaire and you've got lots of different accounts hidden away, that's feasible, but I'm going to say not that. Did you pay the wrong amount? I mean, you are pig shit thick, let's be honest. And therefore, that's entirely possible. But I'm not going to go with that. Because it involved phoning someone, I'm going to go that you didn't phone the support number, knowing that you had to get some information about this. So I'm going to go for C.
Shit. Yeah, that's exactly it. And I knew every day, I'm looking at it, I just didn't do it yet. And trying to explain outside of the ADHD community, what do you mean you didn't do it? Or did you forget? And so I would go, yeah, I forgot. I didn't fucking forget. I just didn't do it. Why not? Don't know, sir. Fuck off, ADHD.
Frustrating, but a great result for me to win the game. Yeah. And
it's 3-1 to you.
It is, I think. On that positive note, then we're going to start off. So stuff that we say at the end, website, ADHDadults.uk, book, ADHD Unpacked, which is still available, still orange. and Patreon if you want to subscribe to other stuff, etc. See you soon or something. Bye-bye.
Bye all.
Trigger warning, klaxon. Klaxon, 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 klaxon. Big klaxon, no. Trigger warning, klaxon. Klaxon, klaxon.